justice. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 7 of I Fought the Law podcast. I am Steve McCrae, and with me, as always, is Brian Hilverda.
Hello, everyone. Steve, before we get started, that shirt looks incredible.
You know what?
Where did you get that shirt?
I went to a local costume shop and said, dress me as a hipster. And this is what they gave me. It was incredible. And I walk out, and now all of a sudden I want to roll up my pants sleeves.
Yeah. Your pants sleeves?
Oh, well, yeah, that's the one. I already did that. I want to roll up my the sleeves of down here, whatever that's called.
The legs of your pants?
The pant?
Yeah, pant sleeves.
Yeah, your pant sleeves.
That's the one. And I'm a hipster.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel a need now to grow my beard a little longer.
Yeah.
To grow my hair a little longer. And maybe buy a Subaru.
Yeah, absolutely. Get a Subaru. Get some nice boots.
Put a backpack in the passenger
Did you get yourself
seat?
a nice waist rope?
I mean, I might move to Portland.
If you grow out your face bush a little.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, you go along with your pants sleeves.
I feel like a new man in this shirt. It's incredible.
It's a good looking shirt.
But I'm hipster Steve. This is hipster Steve.
I feel like whoever wears the shirt has to do the intro. It is
just
a
that's what happened. I put it on. I naturally became the new leader of the podcast.
The one shirt to rule them all.
You felt a rush of testosterone.
I felt such a rush of estrogen. It was incredible. And so here we are. But what do you think of my shirt? Sorry, buddy.
It's a nice shirt. It's really nice. You know, I never get this vantage point on it. It's a good looking shirt.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I never get this vantage point. In all honesty, it's really comfortable. Dixon flannel's nice.
They're great. Yeah. Great stuff. I'm wearing my Texas Hill Country shirt, which is, I only mentioned because I'm going next week to the Texas Hill Country for a national seminar for the American Association for Justice.
Wow.
Brian.
Yeah.
Is that a marijuana leaf on your
No,
shirt?
that's bluebonnets. You got to legalize bluebonnet picking. Like the Dixie Chick said. Want to lay down in a field of bluebonnets.
Is that the strain?
Well, hold on.
It's the state flower. I don't know what your guys' problem is.
Hold on. Are you the first person on the I Fought the Law podcast to quote the Dixie Chicks?
Damn right it
now
was.
known as the Chicks?
Yeah.
That's my band. Only I'm allowed.
Steve, I can have wide open spaces too.
For a cowboy to take you away to?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
we're still drinking KOTO beer.
KOTO. Thank you, KOTO.
We're still sporting Dixon flannel.
Mm-hmm. And
we're still own Hilverda McCrae.
We're still in the Hilverda McCrae studio and working on some exciting things. We're going to hopefully expand the office here a little bit.
Yep.
May have purchased a foosball table, maybe a pool table for a little break space.
We did not purchase a pool table. We purchased a bumper pool table.
Bumper pool is awesome.
That's the hipster version of pool. And now that I'm wearing the shirt, I'm really glad that we have a bumper pool table.
What the hell is bumper pool?
It's the more pretentious version of pool.
No, it's not. It's smaller. It's just smaller, and it's got little like bumpers in it in the middle, and you have to like shoot around the obstacles and get it in the hole on the other side.
Okay, just take a step back for a second.
Okay.
Is bumper pool, just think about it, is bumper pool really not? Is bumper pool the more pretentious version of pool?
I don't think it's pretentious. I think it's less skilled. I think it's smaller, which is why I had one growing up because we couldn't have fit a pool table in our house, but we could fit a bumper pool table.
But the sticks are shorter too, which makes nicer for more enclosed spaces like what we have. Are they not shorter?
Yeah, they're a little bit shorter. I'm not sure why you needed to do this. It was like the Donald Trump dance, but
it's the thinking man's pool.
Yeah,
is what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
no, but there is some truth to the fact that we kind of need to give our brains a break, and sometimes we come up with great ideas throwing darts or doing something.
Yeah, there was a solid 2 years that we threw hundreds of games of darts.
Yeah.
And we legitimately like talked about strategy in cases and over darts. And sometimes it was just making fun of Brian on how poorly he threw darts.
The only time I threw well at darts, you remember this?
Mm-mm.
Is if I had put on the Chili Peppers song, I Could Have Lied. If that song was on, it was
That's right, I
triple
remember
20s, mofos.
Wow.
that. This is in our old office. We had this.
That was a Chili Peppers reference because they put out the album Uplift Mofo Party Plan.
Cool. Hey, are they invited on the podcast?
Hell yes. Oh, Chad Smith could come on. We have the drum set.
Who's Chad Smith? Just joking. I know it was Chad Smith. Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Any member of the Chili Peppers.
All are welcome.
Brian and I saw them in LA.
Yeah.
That was
With
a good
Beck?
concert. With Beck opening.
Yeah.
That was a good concert.
That was good.
You know what? Can we recount for people who is welcome on the podcast? I'm going to make an ongoing list here.
Yeah, we just
of
need to
people.
have invite them every time we list.
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
we tag them in like the
You
the
did-
hashtags?
You did Taylor Swift last time.
Listen, I think I messed up in episode 4. I think given the choice between, I don't know. I've thought about this a lot.
I can
Choice
tell.
between Eddie Vedder and Taylor Swift. And I went Vedder. I think there are Vedder days and then there are Swift days. That'd be a hard choice. Well, it'd be ideal, a roundtable discussion with the 4 of us.
What is today?
The 31st? January?
No, is it a
Oh.
better day or is it?
Oh,
Swift
today
day?
would be a Swift day.
a Swift day.
I would take.
Really?
Damn it, it's a hard question.
That's all I have to ask is really? It's like the other day you were accounting for your top 3 bands and Taylor Swift was not in it, but the National was.
Yeah.
And I said, really? And I think I threw your whole day off.
You kinda did.
All you thought about the rest of the day, and that was at like 10 in the morning, all that you thought, no work got done. All that you did was bat around which band is more important to Brian Hilberta or which artist, the National or Taylor Swift.
But see, Taylor Swift actually. So I revamped my top 10. I think a lot about
Did
this.
you just take out your phone?
Yes,
to-
I could pull up my top 10 update list.
That's what I thought you were doing. Because Brian makes.
Because this is updated from a few years ago when I made a top 10. It's a fluid thing. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Let's hear the top
let's
10.
hear it.
Should I go 10 to 1? Or
Yeah, like David Letterman top 10, but just not funny and just weird because it's who
Me.
you like.
So number 10.
And on each one of these, I'd like to tell you if I like them or not.
Okay, the Lemonheads.
Yeah,
I
I like the Lemonheads.
snuck
top 10.
backstage once at a Lemonhead concert and met Evan Dando.
I'm a Mike and Mike's kind of guy.
Nice.
Nice. Number 9, Face to Face.
Yeah, I can get on board with Face to Face. Do
You
you
like
know
Face
who
to-
Face to Face is?
No.
A SoCal punk rock band. Pretty great.
Yeah.
Number 8,
I got along with the
the drummer. Yeah, that's right.
because he
We got to
trains
meet him.
jiu-jitsu, and yeah, we did shots together.
Number 8, Rage Against the Machine.
That's a
yeah.
solid choice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tom Morello.
Number 7, Taylor Swift.
Only number 7.
Listen, my experience with Taylor has been much shorter than some of these other bands.
Right, but
That's the only thing keeping her from cracking the top 5. You know, I love me some Taylor.
Will that
Okay.
change if the Chiefs win? Which this will be out after.
Brian gives 0 shits on who wins the Super Bowl. Did you know that the Chiefs were in
Well,
the Super Bowl?
only because of
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift,
I knew
Instagram,
it.
and TikTok.
I knew it. And
She's
to
a
be-
lyrical
and-
genius.
And to be fair,
She makes me feel things.
I know, but let me be fair about your criticism of who's in the Super Bowl. I don't follow football whatsoever. The only team that I know is going to the Super Bowl right now are the Chiefs. And the only reason why I know is Taylor Swift. So who are they playing?
49ers.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. And I knew that because I heard a commentator talk about how 4 + 9 = 13, which is Taylor
That's the
Swift's
only
favorite
reason
number.
I knew it.
See, I could give 2 shits about football. I don't know anything. But
Same.
I'm the friend in the friend group that gets added to the brackets and stuff
Oh, yeah.
as
Same.
the this guy knows nothing. I won.
Yeah.
I said the
Fuck those
49ers would
guys.
go.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bunny.
Yeah.
But I have done fantasy football now for 3 years in a row, and I am out $300 because I cannot win.
Oh no.
Number
right,
6.
Number 6.
Rancid.
Oh, boo. No.
What?
Yeah, Rancid sucks. Just accept it. Partnership over?
The shock.
Partnership over.
The shock.
Rancid. I get like maybe they're not my jam, but Rancid sucks. Go fuck yourself.
No, it's just
Sorry,
still
Bunny.
there. Though.
Number
Sorry,
5.
Bunny, for Brian's language
Mhm.
and his poor taste in music at number 6.
Number 5, the Avett Brothers.
Only number 5. I would
Number
have put
5.
them in top. No, top 5's about right. I
5 is right for
wholeheartedly agree. I think they're my number 1.
Yeah, they're great.
Let's see what follows.
Number 4, Bad Religion.
Okay. Yeah. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I love Bad Religion.
I mean, you want
Hold
to talk
on.
about lyrics. Those guys can write
Lyrics
some
great.
lyrics.
I can listen to you on repeat.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Right,
think
for sure.
they'd make my top 10, but I respect the fact that they're in your top 10. And I do love me some Bad Religion.
Yeah.
And that their Christmas album.
Their
is-
Christmas album is the best Christmas album of all Christmas albums.
They
Naps are
inspired.
crucial. Prove me wrong.
They inspired our Christmas album for
Yeah.
our band.
Yeah,
we
they did.
sort of followed that pattern. Anyways,
American Jesus is one of the greatest political religious songs of all time.
what other religious Christmas song or religious political songs can you cite?
Well, I'll get to that with number 2.
Okay.
The National at number 3.
Okay.
At number 2,
Hold on. I have to give you my take. I like the National, not even in my top 50.
50.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll listen to him here and there. I know what his voice does to certain family members of yours. I didn't say what or who.
Bonnie.
Somebody in Brian's family gets very aroused at the Nationals voice. Well, what? It was natural. They could
at number 2,
All
Frightened Rabbit.
wholeheartedly support. I love Frightened Rabbit.
Frightened Rabbit is great. The source of this tattoo.
I'm glad that you're not wearing a certain flannel so that you can show off your tattoos now.
This is a Avett Brothers tattoo.
Didn't even know you had that tattoo.
I got it in Colorado
Oh, cool.
when I saw him at Red Rocks. This is why the bird is on Red Rocks.
I had no
give the cameras
idea.
a show.
I had no
There
idea
you go.
that you had that tattoo. I thought you only had 3. And the other one is Avett Brothers as well.
Yeah. Avett Brothers / Parks and Rec.
Illy ampersand.
Yeah. So in Parks and Rec, they say, I love you and I like you. And Avett Brothers have a song that's I am loving you.
Wow.
And number 1,
Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam.
Yeah, they're in my top 50.
Well, now we need all 50.
For next
I don't make
episode,
lists.
next
I don't
episode,
spend my time writing
I don't
down
believe
if
lists.
you're going to
structure.
have opinions like this for next episode, I need your top 10.
All right.
You watched any good TV lately, Steve?
Yes, I have, Brian.
Tell me about it.
And I know you're going to rage against this. I know you both know who I like now or what television show I like. Okay, let me start off with the
was
television
yelling.
that is probably the truest to my heart that I cried to last night. I'm a crier. I've got no problem with it. Love on the Spectrum. Have you watched Love on the Spectrum?
That has been blowing up. That was all over my TikTok feed.
So
honestly.
I started
You have
it.
told me for years to watch Love.
Yeah,
on the Spectrum.
years ago when it started in New Zealand, I watched the New Zealand episodes. And for those of you that haven't watched, watch it. But it's individuals who are on the spectrum, either with autism, ADHD, any of the spectrum, however you want to categorize them, trying to find love and the difficulties that they have dating. And it shows them on dates. It shows them just wanting truly to have somebody to connect with. Some of them find it. Some of them struggle more. And I love the show so much. I follow them on Instagram.
there's some remarkably wholesome stuff that comes out of that show that I've seen.
It's last night my wife and I were in bed watching it, and there's one character that's just so wholesome. And I literally said to my wife, I was like, this is the most old school thing that I've ever watched. It's truly just people trying to find love and like
Nothing wrong with
real meaningful love. It's not sex. It's not
that. Lust.
it's not lust. It is the most wholesome thing I've ever watched.
They want
And-
the connection.
yeah. And the polar opposite of that, speaking of lust, is I am deeply entrenched in the world of Bridgerton and Queen Charlotte. I love this show so much. I've rewatched it. I'm rewatching it again for the third time. I have no problem with what that does to my man card.
Oh, that's great.
It's incredible. For those of you that have not watched Bridgerton, put your kids to bed and watch it. Get yourself a bottle of wine,
Lock the
And
door.
lock the
Light
door,
the candle.
and
Just
just
Can we
get
turn on the red lights again?
just get ready for the love roller coaster and the sexual tornado that is sexual tornado that is Bridgerton. And
It's
but hold on, not just Bridgerton. Bridgerton's good, but there's a spinoff of Bridgerton called Queen Charlotte that I cried at the end. It is a phenomenal show about actual love. Like that one's not lust. It's so good, Brian. Please watch it.
I will.
I'll do this. I will make my top 10 if you will just watch Queen Charlotte. Not Bridgerton. There's 2 seasons. I just want you to watch Queen Charlotte.
Are either of them violent?
Not at all.
Okay.
There's zero violence at all. And I know you can't handle violence and blood. But in all honesty, you need to watch the 2 Bridgertons to fully understand Queen Charlotte.
and you
I've never
should.
seen Queen Charlotte. I have no idea what it's about. But in my brain, when I think Queen Charlotte and a TV show about this, they should all be played by cats. Can't you see like a queen, like this cat, and then got the crown?
I don't
and
want to see
like-
cats doing that.
That's the stupidest thing I've heard you say in a long time. I understand why you would say that because I know you so well.
Cats.
You just made Zach snort a little bit.
I
That's
did.
perfect.
God, Mike snort.
So that's the deal. You have to watch all 3 seasons. That's the deal. And I'll make you my top 20.
All right.
If you do not like violence, you should not watch The Boys, which I just finished watching.
The Boys. I haven't
The
even
Boys.
heard of that.
That show gave me anxiety just watching it. It is
Sounds
Awful.
awesome.
it's I don't think I could even relay one of the scenes on here, but it's imagine if superheroes were as awful as actual people are. And if you
Oh.
gave someone that much power, what Superman would be like.
Ooh.
There's some awful stuff in that show.
I kind of want to watch
So,
it now. That's a good description.
Instead of with great power comes great responsibility, it's with
Mhm.
great power you can fuck shit up.
Yep. And it's
All
what if Amazon
Sorry,
owned
Bonnie.
what if Amazon owned those superheroes?
Oh. Dang.
I'm down.
It's
I'll
a
watch
lot.
it. I'll watch it.
All right.
What about you? TV.
I'm a simple man. I like comedy. I like love. I don't really watch reality TV, which is the only thing that's kept me from Love on the Spectrum.
It's not reality TV. It's a documentary.
Okay.
Approach it as a documentary. Reality TV is they create an environment and like stupid shit for
Like
people.
The
to
Love
go.
last
Island.
reality TV show that I watched with any sort of regularity was Iron Chef. And
Yeah.
not like the new school Food Network, Alton Brown Iron Chef, like the old school Japanese.
Yeah, that was some good Iron Chef. That
Yeah.
dates you a lot.
That was Morimoto just came in. Yeah.
No. Documentary. Watch Love on the Spectrum. It's I'm looking forward to watching the next episode tonight. It's hard for me to turn off just because it's so endearing.
Nice.
Well, now that we're 20 minutes in,
Oh, jeez.
do we want to get to today's
Let's
topic?
talk about some stuff. Speaking of TV,
Oh yeah.
I was watching TV the other day. There was a commercial came on. I think it was Hulu or something, and it was one of the J.G. Wentworth. You know these?
One call. That's all.
No. That's.
Oh no, JG
Wentworth
it's
is-
my money and I want it now.
It's my money. I want it now.
Yeah.
Most people have no idea what that's about. But what it is that oftentimes people in cases that, I do that are injured get some sort of compensation for what they've been through for future medical expenses, you name it. And oftentimes what they can do is invest that money in an annuity. They call them structured settlements,
Right.
and it ends up, earning them some interest so that they, it increases the money and they can use it as things like inflation, take medical bills and stuff like that.
That's even in the song.
Yeah.
Have a
Yeah.
structured settlement. And
Yes.
I need
The
cash.
structured
And I
settlement.
need cash now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody understands that except somebody who has a structured settlement. And what they do is they come in and they buy it for like 50 cents on the dollar. And then they get those payments in the future. People get a reduced amount
So they
from
get,
JG Wentworth, and they get the long-term benefit of the structure.
instead
Wow.
of getting their $1,000 a month for 10 years, JG Wentworth comes in, buys them out at
Whatever.
whatever it would be for 5 years, and then they collect it over the next 10 years.
Right. That's how they make their money. Problem with that.
Yeah.
One is they're paying you pennies on the dollar. You're likely ending up with less than you would have if you had just taken a lump sum settlement whenever you settled your case. And two is, it's sort of predatory. It's on people who are in a tough situation. They're going to get that money, and what's going to happen? It's gone.
Right. It's the classic people with money taking advantage of those that don't.
Right. But they pitch it as a, we're doing you a favor. You got screwed by going into the structured settlement. We're going to help you out, and we have the money to do that. And we're going to give you this, small percentage, and then they collect the long-term benefit of it.
I don't know. The song's a banger. I don't think they could be doing anything bad with that song that
The
good.
song's amazing. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, hopefully I've never had a client go through it. I just see it, and the ads really, sort of rub me the wrong way. But hopefully, at very least, there's full disclosure of all the ways that this is bad for them. I've had clients call me and ask about it,
yeah.
and we've talked about it. And I said, well, what's your situation? Would you be better off if you took, out a loan, or if you did, had some other options? And we've done the math, and every time they've called about it, they've been far better off leaving that money in the annuity and doing something else.
What I like about doing this podcast is we truly don't talk about what we're going to talk about until we get here, and then we just start talking.
No.
And for the first time, I'm sitting and thinking about television ads for lawyers, and the vast majority of them are in your industry. You don't see, you see like the Texas Law Hawk for guys in criminal law because it was funny, or the guys that were like, what did they say? Were they the fuck you guys?
Or the shut the fuck up guys
shut the
from
fuck
Vegas.
up guys.
Sorry, Bonnie. Sorry,
And,
Bonnie.
and Bonnie, I was quoting somebody.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying that myself. I'm sorry.
And I apologize for them too.
Yeah, exactly. But for your industry, you get more people or more big companies trying to come in and either get clients like what you were just talking about on structured settlements, or trying to bring in car wreck cases. And the vast majority of the people that I see, and tell me what you think if I'm wrong here, but are the mill of people that were injured and either willing to take their case and settle it lower, or wanting to take advantage of their situation. Am I wrong? Tell me if
You're not wrong at all. And this was true when I was adjusting for the insurance company and dealing with lawyers that would recruit those kind of cases. There was a drastic difference between lawyers who made this their practice, made this their career, worked at it, and did it the right way, versus you said it, one call versus one call, that's all.
Right.
Or the, whatever the catchy slogan of the day is, or the billboard advertisement, or the giant check TV ad, things like that. They are intended to recruit a certain type of person. And it's a mill. It's not putting true effort behind the case. It's not truly advocating and counseling the client through their case. It is, we have to do a lot of these, and we have to do them quickly because our advertising budget is, $500,000 a month. And so we got to get them in, turn them quick, get them out, get them done. And most of the time that's bad for the client because, one, they're not truly getting advice through the process of their case. Two, that injuries take a long time to heal. There's a reason that if somebody's in a car wreck, most of the time by the time they're coming to see me, their car's probably been taken care of.
Right.
It's either been totaled out or it's been repaired because we can fix cars pretty quickly. We can't fix bodies that quickly. And the worst thing people can do is rush into some sort of settlement when they're still healing from injuries. You've been through it.
Yeah.
Things take a while to heal.
And it's a painful proceeding.
Yeah.
Because here you are with a great unknown. When I was in the car wreck, Brian was my attorney. We were not partners. And I truly was in a position that I had a traumatic brain injury. I mean, I was concussed to the point that I could not read for a month. And I'm a lawyer. I have to read every day. And I remember coming to work and trying to read just simple stuff, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And my doctors were saying, you need to go home and rest. And fortunately, judges and other attorneys helped me to where I was able to get through it. But during that period, I had to sit and think, did I just lose my law practice?
Yeah.
Because I'm injured to a point that I can't read. And I was thinking, am I going to lose my law practice? What compensation can I get? And if I can understand how people would want to do the one call and take a quick settlement really, really easy without doing all the work for a short-term solution.
Right. And I think it just becomes problematic. And I'm not saying every lawyer that advertises is bad. We have businesses. We have to market them somehow. And they do it by mass marketing and billboards and phone books and, cheesy ads. And not necessarily cheesy ads, but overinflated ads.
Well, let me ask you this then. We've advertised. And we've advertised for car wrecks.
Yes.
Did you feel like those guys when we've advertised?
No, because I think there was a difference between let's get you in, we can get you big money, we can, sort of enticing of people versus here's what we do. This is the process. This is how we excel at this process.
You guys didn't have a cool song.
We didn't have a song.
We didn't have a slogan. What I liked about our advertisement is it was client heavy. We brought in clients to have testimonials, and we really, we had long talks about what sort of persona did we want to give off, and we wanted to be ourselves. We didn't.
And did you notice what the one thing that was noticeably absent from our clients' conversations?
What's that?
In the ads? They never mentioned
money.
They got me a lot of money. It was, and that's not to say we didn't get them money. I think in each of those cases, we got great results for them from a financial perspective, but they appreciated the sort of human touch, the guidance through the process.
And that's sort of where we wanted it to go, because that's how we practice.
That's how we practice.
Hopefully some people are watching this podcast. They see these advertisements. They're everywhere, whether it's billboards. I mean, on my drive into work every day, I see one call, that's all. Mm-hmm. And I'm not making fun of that firm. Well, I am, or that process. I don't even know if it's a firm.
It is a firm.
Okay.
We'll get to the process here in a second. But
but what do you think goes behind those advertisements? Because, I just want people to be educated more than anything. Right. And some people, that might be what they're looking for.
It might be, they might be looking for something quick. They might be looking for something easy, and maybe that's the route to go. I will just tell you this, the insurance companies know. They track these things. They have, I promise you, there is a Brian Hilverta file with these insurance companies. And there's the little PI work that you had done in the past. There's a Steve McRae file with these insurance companies.
To that, so on that, I remember when Brian and I partnered up, I had a caseload of personal injury. So my practice, I had done some personal injury for another firm. And then when I had set up my firm, started going, I was doing a bit of everything, but that included some personal injury. I got so busy in other areas that we partnered up, and here we are.
Yeah.
But I had maybe 15 cases that ready to turn over to you. And I'll never forget when you came in, you put in a notice that the valuation of those cases went up. Within a month or two, they were offering significant amounts more. And this was it was from insurance companies. They were offering more money than me. And it just shows that even though I had tried a lot of personal injury cases, my name didn't mean as much as yours did.
Yeah.
And I realized it was a good partnership, and that you were going to do more for the clients just based on your name and your reputation.
And the alternative, the flip side to that is absolutely true too. They look at like the mill firms and go, okay, these guys need to settle it. They're never going to try it. They need to settle it quickly, and they evaluate it according to that. And this is setting aside the issue of, I think each case should be evaluated on the merits of its case,
right?
Not the quality of its counsel, but regardless, that's a factor that they factor in.
Well, look I do the same thing.
Sure.
And we all do. We go up against attorneys. If it's a brand new attorney that I know doesn't have a lot of trial experience, I might try it more because, I've been doing it for 15 years.
It's the nature of this work.
Yeah. You not only know the facts and the risk of your case, part of the risk comes into how good the other counsel is.
Right.
And that's what insurance companies and all attorneys are doing.
Yes.
So if I've got somebody that I know will settle every case all the time, I'm more likely going to settle it and get a better result. And that's what insurance companies are doing on car wreck cases.
100%. That takes us to the next step, which was where I was thinking you were going to go, was those are all sort of the mill firm advertisements, the stuff that you see on phone books and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You also see a ton of these advertisements that are like the big one right now, mesothelioma.
I was going to ask about that.
Mesothelioma,
which is a cancer that is caused by asbestos.
Oh, that's right.
And it's for people who have worked for a long time. Asbestos was a great building material.
Yeah.
And it made its way into a lot of buildings, and people worked in it, not just in building homes, but in all sorts of manufacturing components, things like that.
I just saw a meme about how they used it as the snow in Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. I mean, it was the go-to product, and then all of a sudden we realized it caused this horrible, horrible cancer. And a lot of firms sort of jumped on that of, this is what we're going to do. And they call them mass torts. And it just means a tort is a French word for somebody did something wrong and hurt somebody else. And so it's a mass scale. And these firms pretty much dedicate millions of dollars to proving these cases, but they can only do that when they take on hundreds of thousands of clients that have it.
And they're specializing in one thing, whether it's mesothelioma from asbestos or Vioxx or a specific drug that was approved by the FDA that is causing a lot of injury.
In the 90s, it was breast implants that leaked and caused problems. Drugs are a big one that, they put out what was it, early 2000s, Fen. You remember that? The weight loss drug. Then it turned out that it was destroying people's hearts. And so firms get involved in that and dedicate pretty much their entire practice and everything they have to doing those cases.
Do you see those guys as the same as the
I don't, but I
I
think it's important for the people that see the commercials to know the commercial is really just a referral service.
Yeah.
And these firms that do it are paying these marketing firms to go, okay, call our firm, and it may be a real firm, it may not, but they're really feeding it out to these firms that are so specialized on these mass torts that they are set up to have them. And then they get a cutback of when the case settles and they get some fees, they're going to get their cut and that sort of thing.
And
And so
it's not only the advertisements that you see on billboards and commercials. It's also, you Google something, oftentimes what you're getting is a referral source. We get
Right.
offers all the time that they'll email me directly and say, hey, we have somebody that needs an attorney for this. Do you want it? And I would have to pay money
to get that lead.
And we don't do that.
We don't. It's yeah. And what they do is they just have mass marketing budgets, and they're not law firms, but they pay enough to be number 1, 2, or 3 on Google, and you're like, yeah. And they maybe even have a picture of me on it, or a list, and those people go, oh yeah, I know Brian. Like, click, and they'll go, hey, yeah, put in your information. We'll let Brian know. And then I get an email that says, hey, we have a referral for you. Pay us, $1,200, and we'll give you the information.
Wow.
Sketchy.
That is really
so on
sketchy.
the mass tort level, I'm a little more forgiving, but on the marketing standpoint, from just a pure referral source, it gets a little sketchier.
And what it is, whether it's the that's different. The marketing, at least it doesn't come out of the client's pocket.
Yeah.
So I'm better with that than, say, the structured settlement buyout, because what that is doing is it's taking advantage of the person out in, they're taking advantage of our clients,
right,
and using their situation against them.
The only
at least with the marketing, it comes out of just you're in my pocket,
right,
and it's a risk analysis of you and I when we're looking at a client to say, do we want to do that? Now, we don't do that.
Right.
We rely on mainly word of mouth. We've done some advertisements because we want to, we know that places are advertising that we don't encourage people to go to.
Yes.
And so we were countering that. And we did it more just to put our name out there because we believe in our product. But it's really interesting looking at it, saying who's being targeted for what purpose and how did they get paid?
Right. And the real detriment to the client there is they may be sent to somebody who shouldn't be handling these types of cases, but they're willing to pay for it.
Yeah. And I think that,
and so I will,
and maybe that does come out of the client's pocketbook in the end.
Yeah. I will typically tell people when we're talking about a case, and I'll generally talk with people, sort of a free consultation, right? I joke that it's part of my repentance process for having worked for an insurance company.
Right.
But I'll chat with them for free, and I'll say, listen, this is what we do. This is how we can do it. This is how much we cost to do it. And if you just don't like me, you don't want to hire us, or you think you don't get the right vibe from us, whatever it may be, let me know. I'll give you names to people that I would trust with my own case. Yeah. Don't just go Google. Just go to,
I say the same thing to every client. I do my analysis and I tell every client, and I'm doing criminal defense. So it's a bit different, but I say, hey, listen, if there's anything you don't like about me, anything, I'm fine with that. Let me give you to somebody that I would trust.
Right. We're fortunate enough to have a small enough bar around here that we know most of the lawyers.
Yeah.
And we know who's good, who's not. And when I say around here, I mean the state of Idaho, especially for me, because I practice around the state. And I know my colleagues who are great, who I would entrust with my own case if I had it. And I know those that I would, steer everybody clear of.
Yeah.
And I want people in good hands. And it's sort of a rising tide lifts all boats. If people end up in good hands and they are successful with their case, that lifts all other cases. And if it's a shit show, the insurance company knows it, and they'll use that against other people who have, valid claims and things like that.
We've talked about knowing the opposing counsel.
Yeah.
Right. I think we literally have a sign somewhere in the office. I don't know who came up with it, but it says a good lawyer knows the law. A great lawyer knows the judge.
Yeah.
Right. And
my wife bought that dish towel for us.
Oh, it's a dish towel. Okay. Yeah. I know. I've read it while filling up my tea in the morning.
Yes.
Hobby Lobby, $5.
Yeah, there you go. But there's a lot of truth to that. Knowing your local bar, who you're going against, the judges on your case. And I think, we're in a unique position. We live in Twin Falls, Idaho. We are the pass through from Salt Lake to Boise.
Yes.
And our bar is pretty big here, but it's not anywhere near a big city.
No.
And we're in a unique position because we see on certain cases out of town counsel coming into our local area. And I feel that they're at a disservice because they don't know the opposing counsel and the judges
100%.
like you and I do.
Yes.
I know which judges, I know almost what every judge thinks of me or of cases or that sort of thing.
And even more so in your practice than mine.
Yeah.
My practice allows me to practice around the state. I have a pretty good feel for judges and counsel around the state.
100%.
Obviously, I know judges and counsel better here than I do in, Coeur d'Alene. But even in Coeur d'Alene, I have a pretty good feel for it. But yours definitely, somebody comes in from out of town, doesn't know the prosecutors, doesn't know the judges.
Yeah. I help them, to be honest. They'll call me and say, hey, how does this judge operate? And I'll tell them, and I've got no problem with that.
Yeah.
That's an interesting, it's an interesting dynamic, but I also respect the people that are looking for an attorney, and they might look at us or attorneys like us and think, oh, these are the local yokels that can't think big.
Yeah.
And that's tough for me, being a Twin Falls, Idaho lawyer. We're not from big city, big firm. And they think, if I go out of the area and hire a big shot, it's going to make a huge difference. And I don't think that's always the truth.
No.
I've never been in a position. I hired you as my lawyer on my car wreck case, but I've never been in a real position of having to hire a lawyer for any of these things. I mean, for me on my car wreck, I went with you because I knew you were good and you were local and you knew it all. So what do you think people that are watching this podcast should do then? I mean, here they're faced with potentially quick results from one of these big firms.
Yeah.
And maybe that fulfills what they need. Maybe they want a real personalized touch from local counsel. And how do they know that local counsel is really good at what they do? So what do you do?
Yeah. It's tough. I generally tell people you have to be comfortable with your lawyer. So if you come see me and this is not your jam, that's fine. Find somebody you're comfortable with. One of the other things I'll tell people is tell them to ask, especially on my cases, ask them how much do they think it's worth? Because the mills will go, it's worth a lot.
Yeah.
Let's get you in. We can get you lots of money. That's why they put the big fucking
blowing
checks
smoke up their ass
from the insurance company, and they're doing this on their ads and stuff. And a good lawyer would say, I have no idea right now.
Do you know what I do to tell people how to know if an attorney's good? I say, if you want a criminal lawyer, call a divorce lawyer. You want to know who's good in your area at one, call somebody that doesn't compete with them, but knows the local bar.
Yep. I had a text from a friend this morning that had a list of people that were recommended to him for a certain thing in town. And what did I think? And I don't compete with them. It wasn't something we do. And I said, 100% this one, this other one is good, but more expensive. For the love of all that's holy, do not go to the third one.
Yeah. And I also like when people post on Facebook who would recommend. Sometimes I see names that I would find cringy, but I sit and I go, oh no, they must have done a really good job in this one. And maybe I don't know it all.
Yeah.
So I think advertisement, you have to look at it with a skeptical eye on who's putting in the money to just get your referral source.
Yep.
I, in general, do not like the marketing firms that will take your information and then just farm it out to whoever's going to pay for it. Because normally the attorney that needs to pay for it has a reason that they need to pay for it.
Yeah.
And so if it's me, I say, go to the local market and ask somebody that's never, that is in the know, but is never going to take your case. So if you need a personal injury attorney, call a criminal defense guy. Or a divorce lawyer or a business lawyer.
Most of my
they'll
cases,
get you to the right person.
Most of my cases come from other lawyers that don't do my kind of work.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just go, these are the guys. And that's humbling and encouraging and all in one. And Anyway, but yeah, be comfortable with your lawyer. Don't buy into the smoke they're blowing. Yeah, they can give you, I can give clients a general idea of what their case might be worth. But I have to explain to them all the variables that may make a case worth more or less.
Real quick, I want to cover one more thing, and I know we're running out of time for what we've allocated for the podcast. There's a recent trend on social media, on TikTok, Reels, specifically in your line of business that you and I have been talking about, and I know you actually have it up on your phone. Right before we got on the pod to do this recording, Brian saw this advertisement. So describe what it is and what you think it is.
Yeah, and maybe can we put in like a 5-second clip of it or something?
Yeah.
Basically, and I've seen them pop up in this is like the last couple of weeks, and there's more than this one, but basically it's some doofus in a car lot with a wrecked car going, if you've been in a car wreck in the last 2 years, you got to get on this app because it took me 30 seconds and I got $100,000 and it's all AI. You don't need a lawyer and you just answer it took me less than 30 seconds and I got this big fat check. And
what is it?
No.
What in all reality? Is it AI doing the work?
No, it's a lawyer referral service. They're going to send you to some shitty mill firm that's going to get you some money and they're going to get a cut of it. And all they're doing is coming up with these really terrible, from a protection standpoint, they're awful. And, and yeah, I mean, just look at this doofus. Like,
it's getting on the AI train.
And it's how I got this $100,000 check in less than 30 seconds. I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, if you've been injured in a car accident, I'm about to turn your world upside down. So
that is exactly how you sounded too.
Right? Like,
right. Now listen, I don't
me?
want to get sued for defamation here, Brian.
No, but listen.
But be leery of the easy answers. And I think that's the overall gist. When somebody is online telling you that your legal problems are going to be quick and easy to solve, take it with some skepticism.
Yes, and if it's some dude with a bad beard and a ill-fitting white T-shirt in a junkyard,
trust
the guy
in an
me.
ill-fitting flannel.
He says,
"Trust
me. I'm just going to give out this legal advice for free for every listener to the podcast. Do not trust him."
Yeah.
And we're seeing more of it. And yeah, AI is affecting our world. We could probably do a whole episode on it and affecting the legal world. And there is stuff that AI is going to be very beneficial for people in this process. But getting referred to another law firm and having 30 seconds of your input to get $100,000 check is not it.
A lawyer has already tried to use ChatGPT to make their argument. And it just manufactured a
totally
case.
manufactured case.
Yeah, we'll do other podcasts on AI, but yeah, I've heard of attorneys getting in trouble using AI, but this is different. This is jumping on the AI bandwagon of AI is going to make a process so easy and saying, hey, your car wreck. If you were in a car wreck, all you have to do is plug in some information in AI, and it's so smart that it's going to solve your problem and get you an easy check. The reality is that's horseshit.
Yeah.
You're still in the system.
It's a buzzword.
Yeah, you're still in the system that we're dealing with.
I turned it off before we got to it.
Yeah.
But one of the things it says is you put in your 30 seconds of information and it compares your case with 20 million other cases across the country. You know the problem with that.
Not all cases are reported. They cannot get that information. That is a total fabrication.
A case in Twin Falls, Idaho versus a case with the exact same facts, the exact same injuries, the exact same amount of medical bills, the exact identical cases, and it's in Florida, California, New York.
Go 30 miles away from here in Nevada.
Go to
who
Nevada.
Have different laws and different caps on damages. They're different cases.
They are totally different cases, and on those you can add zeros. And it's totally illogical. It's terrible lawyering to try to compare cases. And a lot of times people will Google and go, what's my case worth? They'll come in and say, well, I read about a case similar. They got $2 million out in Pennsylvania. Not going to happen in Idaho. There's a lot of reasons for that. And we're not going to go into today. But
hey, Brian.
Yeah.
You're worked up in a tizzy.
I am in a tizzy right now.
I don't want to wear the shirt anymore. Can we end the podcast so I can
Why,
take the shirt
Steve?
off?
Are you hot in that shirt? Are you hot?
Actually, I'm very well regulated, but it's the hipster in me is about to come out, and I feel dirty.
Go drink an IPA, Steve.
We are at
I'm
50
gonna
minutes.
I'm gonna stick
Okay.
with my KOTO Swollen Eagle
Oh, yeah.
Blonde. Okay.
Yeah, we need to wrap it up. We love you all. We'll be back, hopefully on a fairly regular basis, if we can keep Steve's schedule in somewhat a check.
We can keep Steve from Steving.
Yeah, keep Steve from Steving. That's going to be another t-shirt.
Good luck.
Yes. Thank you. I'll not get as worked up next time. Sorry.
No, I love you. I love when you get worked up. I
It's the
just want to give
passion.
you some
It's
shit.
the fire.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, we'll see you all on episode number
8.
Today was 7.
Woo. All right. Bye.
One day, double digits. See you guys.